Hello friends, it's your old pal the Colonel here. Welcome back to the Gold Coast Beamer's Garage. As you can see, I've been busy today. I just got back from the restaurant. I got a big problem over there. I got chickens wandering all around. I don't know what to do with them, and I hurried on back because I wanted to do this episode because I know it's been a week or so since we've done one. So what I thought we would do is maybe talk about some of the garage supplies, things that I keep around and find myself grabbing pretty frequently to use. So working outside in the garage, especially in the summertime, boy, you get these mosquitoes in there, and I guess maybe because it's darker in the garage and they come in there and they start biting on you and you're itching and you're bitching, and then you end up going in the house. So I always keep some deep woods off around. I spray myself down pretty good with that. It's what I call my Everglades City perfume, and that pretty much takes care of all the mosquitoes. Now, lately, I've been having a problem with spiders in the garage, and I don't like spiders. So I was over at Home Depot the other day looking for some chicken wire, and I picked up a can of this Raid, and I'm standing there looking at it, trying to figure, reading the directions, and that man in that orange apron came up, and he said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "Is this good for spiders?" He said, "No." He said, "It'll kill them." And I thought, well, okay, that's what I need. So I got me some of this, and hopefully I'll get my spider situation under control. They're tough to deal with because you may not know this, spiders don't groom themselves. So most insects, you spray stuff around, they walk through it, and that's the end of it. Spiders, they just tiptoe through on their little toes, and anyway, so hopefully we'll take care of that. Now, what are the things that I grab a hold of in the garage to use a lot? Well, everybody's got a can of WD-40, or 2 cans or 3 cans. Now, I like to think about WD-40 as the Swiss Army knife of lubricants. It'll do all sorts of things, but it doesn't do most of them particularly well, at least not as good as some specialty products can. So it'll lubricate things, it tends to stay wet, and it attracts dirt and dust. So using it on your motorcycle, it's going to get grimy after a while. It's real good at removing labels from plastic utensils and things, lots of things, but it's not the first thing I reach for. Depending on what I need, I'll reach for something else. So one of the things I use most often is made by WD-40, and it's called dry lube, PTFE. That's polytetrafluoroethylene, or something to that effect. Anyway, most commonly known as Teflon. It's a Teflon spray. This works really good on things like hinges on your motorcycle, locks. Use it to lubricate the inside of locks. Locksmiths love this stuff. And the good thing about it is it's dry. It doesn't attract dust or dirt. Now, when you spray it out, it's going to be wet. And you're going to say, well, wait a minute, this is not dry. But in about a minute or two, it will dry, and it leaves a nice film, and it keeps things lubricated really well. So this is probably my go-to lubricant. Next, good old silicone spray. This one's made by Liquid Wrench. Silicone spray is really good for the rubber products on your bike. The seals around your cases, anything that's rubber. Now, if I'm using it, I like to spray it on a soft cloth and wipe it on, because if you spray this over there, you're going to get a whole lot of overspray, and it stays slick, and it's not really the best stuff to have on your paint or all sprayed around, but still really good for rubber. What else do I have here? Another WD-40 product, and electrical contact cleaner. I use this quite a bit for, like on my Cena unit where it clamps to the helmet. There's some copper contacts there, at least they look copper. I use it to clean that. I'll use it for any plugs and jacks on things, any electrical connections, any plugs on your motorcycle. This works real good for cleaning that out. Much better than WD-40, which will work, but again, it'll attract dust and dirt and grime. So brake cleaner. This will pretty much degrease about everything. You want to keep it off painted surfaces generally, but if you pull something out and it's greasy and oily, this is what you use and it'll clean it up in no time. Another thing that I use quite often is, well, maybe not that often, but is a penetrating lubricant. Now, if you have a metal fastener or a bolt or something that's just sort of stuck in, this is what I found works absolutely the best. You know, there's lots of products around. Liquid wrench has been around forever. There's a product called PB Blaster, but this one, Croil, or in this case, Aerocroil, and it doesn't have anything to do with aeroplanes. They call it Aerocroil because it's an aerosol. You can actually buy Croil in a container that's liquid. But spray a little Croil on there. When you're using this, patience is your friend. Spray a little on there, give it some time, you know, maybe an hour, come back, spray a little more on there. You know, I've been told by old-time mechanics that you spray it on there and you lightly tap. If it's a bolt, tap the head of the bolt. That'll set up a little vibration, help it penetrate down in there. Croil says this will sneak in a crack that's 1/1,000,000th of an inch. So it ought to get down between things and help you get it apart. The last thing I grab quite often, and I know a lot of you use this, is called Plexus. And it's a plastic cleaner and a protectant and a polish. And I use it on all the plastic parts of the bike, all the side cases and everything. I also use it on the windshield and on my face shield. It's real easy to use. You spray it on, wipe it around, give it about 15 seconds, turn your cloth over, buff it up, and you're good to go. Really good product. I think you can get it at BMW Motorcycles of Fort Lauderdale carries it. All these products you can find obviously online and many of them over at Home Depot. So that's kind of it for things I grab a hold of frequently. Well, you know, not everything I grab a hold of frequently, but most of the things in the garage I do. So I'd like to thank a couple of the folks that help us put on this program. I'd like to thank Anita Hammer. She is our motorcycle repair consultant. I'd like to thank Maya Sertz, who's our seat tester, and I'd like to thank Major Ashburn, who's our long distance tour coordinator. So if you have a question or a comment you want to send to us, post it up on the Facebook page or send it to us at goldcoastbeamers@outlook.com and we'll see if we can answer your question. Until next week, if you're out riding your motorcycle, be aware and take care. See you then.